I left YouTube 8 years ago. I was broke, I was desperate, I was paranoid and as chronically online as you can be. But now I'm married, I'm a mother, I'm living my dream life. And the gag is, I'm not earning any money at all now. But I'm so much happier. Spiritually, physically, mentally, my cup is full. I have so much more to give now than back then. That's why I'm back. I'm back to give, I'm back to share, I'm back with a new heart. That's if you watched the last video. I'm back with a renewed mind. I'm back with God by my side as the foundation, all around me, and I'm so excited. Hi. Thanks for watching my last video. This is basically just as long. I'm going to do a quick rundown recap of the last video, so if you haven't watched that video, you don't have to go all the way back to watch that video. You can if you want to. That would be very nice. It's very supportive of you, but you don't have to. I started my YouTube channel in 2014, pure intentions to advocate and educate all things natural hair. But at that time, I was backsliding from God. I wasn't living for Jesus. I was playing house with my ex-fiance. You understand what I mean when I say I was playing house? Like, we was living as husband and wife, and we weren't husband and wife. I thought it was okay because we were gonna get married anyways, but it was wrong. 2015. Literally at the top of the year, I encountered Jesus in my student accom. I could not resist. He proper pursued me. I really didn't think he would after having known him all my life, known him or known of him. And I felt like I had chosen my path. I'd made that decision not to completely live my life for him because I thought like, oh, it's just too hard. Not for me. Yeah, he was like, I want you back. Come back home. As I said, I was kind of resisting. Eventually, that same year, I called off my engagement. I got kicked out of uni and I moved back home with my parents. In 2016, I rededicated my life back to Jesus. I surrendered everything except the natural hair business. I didn't see anything wrong with me holding on to it, especially since I believed everyone around me was waiting for me to quit. So that's what I was talking about in the last video. Like, I just felt like everyone wanted me to fail. I was starting to just have this, I'm just going to prove everyone wrong. I'm going to make it anyways, even though nobody wants me to succeed. Everyone's a hater. So don't trust anyone. Just keep your head down, keep focused, and you're going to make it regardless of who's out to get you. And I really thought that God was okay with that. Like, he was on my side because he could see the injustice. He understood what I was trying to do. And so he was going to bless what I was doing and my business and, you know, the trajectory that I was going in, because I'm not a quitter. I'm going to do this. 2017, God was like, can you surrender this too, please? I was so blissfully unaware of what he was talking about. I was like, I've given everything. I literally don't have anything left. I literally just said that a lot happened in 2015. I even lost my grandma that year, and she was someone that was really praying for me. She saw right through me and right through what the spiritual state I was in, and she wasn't having it. She was like, come on, Cherise. I lost her in the process too of all the stuff I had already given up. Yeah, so I was like, I don't have anything left to give. I'm actually waiting for everything to be added on to me, to be honest. Because hello, I'm living Matthew 6:33. You know, seek first your kingdom and your righteousness. And then God was like, yes, Reese, I understand, but you know you didn't start all this with me, or you didn't build this on me. You weren't in a good place back then when you started with everything. And more to the point, your heart is no longer pure like it was in the beginning of starting everything. Look at your heart now, like it's deceiving you because you really think that you're okay. You really think everything is good. I can see everything you're trying to do here. I know that you want to be better and you want to do better and you want to do things the right way, but you're bitter. Your heart is very bitter. You're paranoid, you're cynical, and you're really hurt. You're really hurt, like, so just let me, Philippians 1:6, since we're giving Bible verses, let me help you, let me heal you, let me restore your faith, but you have to trust me. That's what I was trying to explain. I know I didn't say any of this because I edited that video. So when I was saying like, oh, you know, I had pure intentions, but by the time I left YouTube, I didn't have pure intentions. Like, that's what I mean. Like, in between that time, I did actually rededicate my life to Jesus. Oh, I just love him so much. So yeah, he was just like, you have to trust me. And I didn't really want to, but I'd already had a whole year of doing things his way, doing things right. Every little thing, every big thing, every instruction I was following, and I was seeing the fruit, I was seeing good results. So as much as I was happy to be in control of my business, yeah, it just wasn't it. Now that you're all caught up, this video is where I have been in all this time, in 8 years. So I've obviously been off YouTube longer than I've been on it. Praise the Lord, there's been so much progress, and actually I can come back with so much more to give. So let's get straight into it. At the end of the last video, I shared the whole waitressing thing, working in hospitality. That's what I was doing while I was on YouTube. When I left YouTube, I felt just the shame. I was telling you how unsupported I was with YouTube and how it was so unrated doing YouTube. On top of that, I was doing waitressing to fund my YouTube career, and I was very good at it, as I said. But I also had people in my ears telling me that I could do so much more. I have so much more potential. And I mean, they were looking out for me. They did have my best interest at heart, I believe. But that's not something you need to hear. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm good at this. I'm good at my job. And just because it's not a 9-to-5 desk job, just because maybe you want to brag to your friends that I'm a doctor or a lawyer or a this or a that. And do you know what I mean? Like, just because you have an idea of me that you think I should step into doesn't mean that that's what I should be doing, something that I have any interest in doing, or something that I'll be good at. I internalized all that shame surrounding my waitressing, and especially because when I left YouTube, it was no longer, oh, I'm waitressing to fund my YouTube career. It was just, I'm just a waitress. And that, the shame of it was just too much. Again, wasn't really used to giving God the steering wheel of my life. Kind of took back control. And I was like, this is, the word I used was mediocre. Like, oh, I'm fed up of this mediocre life. As I was saying in the video, not in last video, but the video before I left, when I was explaining why I was leaving. As much as I loved the industry, it was a bit taking the mick. It wasn't paying me very well. I wasn't like fairly given enough hours. Even though I was supposed to be full-time, I then became 0-hour contracts, even though my contract wasn't 0 hours. They were adding so many other waitresses, so they had to like evenly distribute the hours, and I wasn't getting as many hours as before, so that means my pay was going down, and it was just, yeah. So I wasn't respected for the job, and then the job wasn't respecting me either. So it was just like, you know what? I'm fed up of all of this. I'm fed up of all this mediocre living. YouTube wasn't doing too well either when I left, to be honest. Like, I'd stopped getting paid from Google AdSense by that time. So there was no more checks coming in. There was no more speaking engagement money. There was no more being invited to be on a panel of events. As I said, the natural hair movement kind of died. So there weren't even events for me to be invited to, if that makes sense. Yeah, that was kind of sad, like, as I said. So that's where the whole moving to New York came in my mind. I also felt like God was telling me to go to New York. Like, he did say New York, however, it wasn't to do with anything what I was tagging on. When I was like looking at tickets and stuff, first I was looking just to go for 2 weeks, but I didn't have peace about that. Then I looked at how much it would be to go for a month, and if I had enough savings, and if I could come back to my job in a month. And because, as I said, like, because it was 0 hours by that time, they didn't really care. Like, it was more hours for the rest of them, but they also was like, yeah, fine, the job will be here for you in a month's time. That's unheard of. Do you know what I mean? That's, I could only have made that kind of move if it was hospitality. If I was waitressing, I don't think I would have been able to do something like that if I was in corporate 9-to-5. They're not holding my job for me for a month. But that's how I also knew that this was like from God, because he set it up that I could go. But me and my own thinking, I'm thinking it's a long-term move and I need to be ready. Part of my readiness, let me level up, put my natural hair passion and skills to good use. So I was like, I'm gonna do social media marketing because that's what I've been doing. That's how I built my brand, or something to do with social media, but in the natural hair industry. So I literally went on LinkedIn and I cold messaged anybody that had some kind of natural hair, that had like some kind of social media in their bio, in their description, head of social media, something. And there were two people specifically that gave me the time of day. The head of social media for Shea Moisture, she actually thought I was brave for what I was doing, because my message was something along the lines of, I've been a natural hair influencer for X amount of time, and now I'm trying to get into the back end and see how it works with the brands, or something to do along them lines. As I said, she gave me the time of day. I was telling her when I was gonna go to New York and how long I was staying there for, if we could meet up and everything. And we did actually meet up, and it was so good. I'm like, she was so amazing. Like, oh, it was so nice. Like, she gave me so much insight. It was just a really nice catch up. And it was on her lunch break. She didn't have to. As I said, she was a social media marketing manager of Shea Moisture at a time when Shea Moisture was big and popping, and she was a busy woman, and she made time for me, and I felt, oh my goodness, I felt so amazing. There was another man that he was really senior in marketing. He not only mentored me for the next year and a half, he just gave me so much free game. I used pretty much all of that knowledge to launch my YouTube channel with my husband and do all the back end stuff of that, and hit the ground running with that, and also to become a copywriter, which I did later on down the line. But at that time, as I said, I felt like New York was for me, and when I went there, that was it. Like, I felt like this was gonna be it. I was starting to apply for jobs over there too. Even though God told me to leave YouTube, I'm thinking maybe he's telling me to leave, but I'm gonna be back within a year or two. Where better a place to be back than to be in New York? While I'm over there, I go to job fairs, but anywhere that will give me a working visa is what I'm looking for, basically. Where am I staying? I'm staying with my mum's cousin. My mum's cousin lives over there. I have family over there. We weren't estranged, but we weren't really like in communication, because my mum was kind of afraid for me going over there, because I told her I'm moving to New York. And I'm like, I'm gonna get Airbnbs and I'm just gonna hustle. I'm gonna eat crackers. So I packed up my suitcases with crackers. I'm just gonna spend my money wisely till I land on my feet, because life is a movie, innit? So like, I'm unstoppable now. I'm so stoked up. I'm so hyped. I'm excited. My mum's like, slow down. You can stay with my cousin. That's the way she started talking back to her cousin a bit regularly. And that whole side of our family, spoiler, that was the reason why God wanted me to go to New York, so that we could rebuild that relationship, and so that my great aunt could see us all. That year, that 2018, we got to go to New York twice, once by myself in the beginning, and that was for a month. Then we went again in July, and we went with my whole family, because my aunt, who's passed away now, that was one of her prayers, that she wanted us to see each other, and she wanted us to all be like really connected and united. And it's like, she knew that we weren't. She got to see us, she got to spend time with us while she was mobile, and it was really nice. It was wonderful. But I know now that's why God wanted me to go. But as I said, because I was so excited, okay, I obeyed, I quit YouTube, but the ideas were still flowing. Like, the desire to be on YouTube didn't grow cold. That's why I was like full steam ahead. It was only a month, but I did so much. I was out every day, and it was January, It was cold in New York. I thought London was cold. I thought the UK was cold. That was cold. And I was out every day, up, and out. I was really like hustle. I was doing that New York movie life. I was doing that hustle. I was really like, yes, I'm going to make it happen. Right, anyways, going to all these job fairs, and I applied for a position at Diva Curl in their marketing. I got through to like interview stage. I was really like bold, basically. I was being very bold in what I was saying and how I was saying it. Even my application was like, oh, like they really stopped to look at me, because I've come from the UK. They can easily hire anybody they want in the US, in New York, that's a native. So I have to make myself stand out. And I felt like my story is enough to stand out, but also the way that I'm telling it, it has to make them stop and look at me, and they did. They wanted to find out more. They wanted to hear more about my story. It was so interesting, so inspiring, la la la, right? But not inspiring enough to sponsor me, which was not very disappointed, because as I said, I was so charged. It wasn't the end of it for me. I was still like, oh, this could be my life. I was thinking, oh, you know, I could get an NFL player. This is the part of the story that my husband latches onto, that I wanted to marry an NFL player. Yeah, so whenever he tells this story, he's like, oh, Sharice went to move to New York to go find an NFL player. But it's like, what now do I do with all this, with all my ambition? I just put it all in there. As I said, I wasn't used to giving God the steering wheel of my life, especially not in that regard, not in business and not in my finances. So anyways, I was like, it's not the end, it's fine. I went and found a solicitor while I was over there. We go through a plan of which visa I'm going to get and how I'm going to get it. Because of my connects, because of what I had built with the natural hair business, solicitor said I was eligible to apply for an O1 visa. And that is for like the celebs. That's for like the people that are doing incredible things in the UK and they want to go over to the US and continue their craft. I was just blown away that little me was able to apply for that. And I was just like, are you sure? And he was just like, yeah, because you've already been in one publication. You just I need to get myself into one other publication and get like 3 letters from fellow influencers, which easy to do because back then, as I said, there was only a handful of us. We all knew each other and we all had good working relationships with each other. Yeah, I felt, oh yeah, I could get a couple letters written up. I could reach out to her, I could reach out to her, I could reach out to this one, and they'll be able to like give me a good reference. Anyways, it was just a simple process in my head. That's what I felt like. And I wanted to do all of this while I was there. Part of me felt like when I go back home, I'm not coming back to live. But I desperately wanted to. I was looking at apartments. I was looking at how much it would be. I was looking at if I could be a little bit legal and be a little bit illegal over there. Like, I was looking at stories of how immigrants from other countries go there and how they've made it, you know, what they did to bootstrap themselves to stay in the country and become citizens eventually down the line. In my head, I was going to do it. I knew once I got back on the plane and came back home, I wasn't going to go back. It was Holy Spirit speaking to me. It was God trying to tell me, like, you're too excited. You're doing too much. Like, it's appreciated what you're trying to do, but hold your horses, darling. Well, how does the meme go? I applaud your enthusiasm, Sharice. You're definitely enthusiastic, but you're not getting tickets to that show.
Okay, David, I'm going to have to, like, bring you down to earth for a sec. There is no way you're getting tickets for that show, but I love your enthusiasm.
Let me guide you. But it also did really make me feel like, my faith is growing. I do have crazy faith that I'm willing to step out and do whatever God is telling me to do, or go wherever God is telling me to go, pack up my bags, and I'm just like, I'm single, I can do anything. The world's my oyster. That's what I said in the previous video, the one before I left. I was like, world's my oyster, where am I going to next, Lord? What's next for me? You know? But little did I know that, as I said, it was all because my great aunt wanted us to all be united and happy family, which is so nice, isn't it? It's so beautiful. Anyways, coming back home, I went straight back into waitressing, straight back into what am I doing with my life now, Lord, that I'm not doing YouTube. Kind of discontent with everything and where I was, and even though yes, I'd quit YouTube because God told me to, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows after that, and I felt like, yeah, let me keep trying. That's probably another reason why my husband always talks about how New York, I was there to find a man. While we were there the second time, in July of that same year, I was in talks with my husband. At the time, we were literally just being introduced to each other through a mutual friend. That's when I knew that I had to give up the whole trying to move to New York thing. I wanted to pursue this whole love life thing because, as I mentioned before, 3 years prior to that, I called off my engagement. So love life was a bit sticky, but because I had done some growing, some healing, he was like, you're ready. And I was like, I'm not really ready, but I'm gonna trust you anyways. Yeah, and then my husband was super intentional. That was the one thing that really, swept me off my feet. Within 10 months of dating, we got engaged, proposed to me, and then we got married in 2020, which anytime I say that, everybody's like, oh, so you're a COVID bride. Oh my gosh, you saved so much money. My response is always like, oh, I wish I was the opportunistic type of COVID bride. But I was the COVID bride that unplanned her wedding from 2019. Everything was paid off and I was just waiting for the date. So I was the kind of COVID bride that lost all her money. I wish I saved a bunch of money, but I lost a bunch of money because I didn't have wedding insurance. So get wedding insurance, guys. That was a time. That was hard. That was a stress. But anyways, yeah, so I was saying that I came back on YouTube in 2019. I felt like it was the time to be back. I don't know why I felt like it. There was no confirmation. I don't know why. I don't really remember why. I done the whole learning social media marketing, digital marketing as a whole. I was really geeked out about it. I could show you pages notes that I took. I did so many different online courses because I felt like I had wasted a whole thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds on a degree I never graduated, I never got. So I'm like, well, if I could spend thousands on that, then I can definitely spend thousands on online courses, and probably won't ever amount to the amount that I accumulated with student loan debt and stuff that I wasted on a degree. And I can get so much more knowledge and understanding for the very thing that I was trying to do. And so with that newfound knowledge, all the courses that I was doing online, and a huge follower of Russell Brunson, I was just one funnel away from the big bucks and success in life. So again, I was like, this is it. I'm back. I'm ready to come back. I've done all my knowledge, I've done all my learning, done all my healing. I'm fine now. It's all good. I understood where you're coming from before, Lord, but we're all good now. Let's get back on it. let's get back on it. There's money I can make. I came with the sole purpose of creating an ebook that would be top of funnel. Give it out as a lead magnet, attract everybody to my email list, then offer value, build my value ladder, offer value, webinars, courses, any way I can package up my knowledge and information that I got on natural hair and Ayurvedic remedies for hair growth and all of that stuff. So I was like, yeah, I can do this. Really worked hard on the ebook, and as I said in the last video, it flopped. I got like 80 downloads, which is not a huge flop, but compared to like the following that I had doing videos, I was doing so much content on Instagram. I was heavily focused on just that one platform, and yeah. But I did get quite a few endorsements and stuff, and I don't even know why it was a flop. Why was it a flop? The ebook itself wasn't a flop. It was nobody attended the webinar that I set up, and nobody bought the ultimate hair tools kit for everybody that's like on a natural hair journey, or anybody that's starting a natural hair journey. I wanted to equip them with all the hair tools that they needed, and it was going to be amazing, and it was just, yeah, and nobody bought that. Again, I didn't spend enough time on these things. Yeah, I've revamped, as I said, a 2.0 version of it. The book is called Hair Growth Secrets. Spoiler, there's no secret to hair growth. Is what the whole premise of the book is about. Kind of very motivational as well. It's longer. I can do a whole new video. I'm going to do a whole video on the actual book. And I want to do like a postpartum version and all of that. So that would be good. As I said, I'll do a whole separate video on that. It's also linked in the description of this video below. While we were waiting for the green light that weddings were going ahead, whatever sort of wedding we were able to get in 2020 when we were trying to get married, we started a YouTube channel together. It was called The Akinle Way, which was our wedding hashtag. Every cloud has a silver lining. You have to find a silver lining in all this chaos. How long were we doing it for? 3 years? Again, another 3 years on YouTube. It felt so good to not be on YouTube alone, not carrying everything by myself. It was really healing. It was nice to be in a duo, to have somebody else want the success of what we're building just as much as I do, and it was nice for somebody to get it. And it was different as well, because we got lots of views, we got lots of comments, we got lots of likes, you know, all that engagement that I didn't have when I was first on YouTube by myself. It's even funny because you can literally go through videos now and there's still no comments. The video that has the most comments is the video when I was saying that I was leaving. Of course, but it was nice though. People were really supportive, so that also made me feel like, oh, I don't want to go, but I had to go. The main reason why we stopped our personal branding business was because the business wasn't making a stable recurrent income. I started freelance copywriting. That really shut off. I got really busy with that. I started on Fiverr. I got paid to grow my experience. Then once I was really good at the skill set, I was getting so much money. I was getting a lot more money. And I was just like, wow, finally making money online is a thing. It's not a scam. It felt really good to be making money online. And so I abandoned the channel with my husband, and he was, bless him, he really tried to like keep it going, but he was also working full time. Then he really started to see how much work I was really putting into it, because he's trying to recall those days that I wasn't really doing too much. Of course, I found that very triggering, because when I was doing YouTube full time previously, that wasn't taken well. When I felt a bit like taken for granted, I was just like, oh, okay, my time to exit, my time to go. I'm gonna peacefully walk away. It never got revived. The business as an entity still stands. We've just pivoted into being a property / hospitality business. Airbnbs, short-term lets, and rent-to-rent, which is working out for us as a business model, which is we're very happy about. And my husband's also used the business to be like a family page on his Instagram. So the name still lives on if you search us up, but it's my husband behind that account doing this thing. I'm just here supporting him, like, you go babe. As I said in the previous video, I've just been enjoying life, just not posting. You can't pay me to post now, because I'm just like, I don't want to. And as I said in the beginning of the video, I'm a mummy now. The year after, my copywriting was doing really, really good. We got pregnant. I have a girl, Leah Janae, she's 2, and a boy, Mariah. He like the mountain. He's 1. Yeah, I was a proud member of the 202 club. Yes, I was very delulu enough to plan to have back-to-back pregnancies, and I wanted as back-to-back pregnancies as I could. I've always wanted my children to be close in age. I really wanted to create built-in best friends for them. My younger siblings and I are 3 years apart. So it's me, then 3 years, then my brother, then 3 years, and my sister. There's 8 years between me and my older brother. So yeah, I was just like, I think I'm gonna try. I think it would be better if I think it would be better for my children if they were closer in age. Because there's 3 years between me and my brother, there's 5 years between me and my sister. When we just became adults, that's when we got a lot closer. And now that we're both mums, we're even more closer. It actually feels like she's older than me, and like maybe 1 or 2 years apart. It really doesn't feel like there's so many years between us now. But when we were younger, it did feel like that. It did feel like I just couldn't relate to her. And I was sandwiched between 2 boys. But I also felt like just the eldest at home. Because as I said, older brother has got 8 years on me. So yeah, I wanted closeness by design for my children. So yeah, that brings me on to moved out of Nottingham, moved down to Kent. Now I'm back in Nottingham. I couldn't do the whole raising babies without support of my mum, which is the main reason why we moved back. As you can see, I'm a plus size babe. Actually, a mama bear. Oh, I need to do a separate video on the postpartum phenomenon and the sacrifices that you have to make to become mum. But yeah, I wish I knew that it was gonna come. Obviously, there was no way I was gonna know what I was gonna get in postpartum, but I wish I knew that I was gonna like balloon. I mean, I know, to be honest, I did know I was gonna balloon. I could look at all the women in my family that have multiple children, and I could see that genetically I would probably be the same, and finding it very difficult to shift baby weight. I was sort of mentally prepared for that, but when it actually happens, you're never gonna be prepared for that. But now, because I know it's because I had kids, I don't feel as bad as if I was big without having kids, if that makes sense. Like, I kind of wear it as a badge of honor, if I'm being so sincere. Now that I've finished breastfeeding, I'm not delulu enough to try and go back to back again with the pregnancies. You know, 2 under 2 is it was hard enough to make me rethink the back to back. I can say that. And also, now that I've stopped breastfeeding, I know it's going to be a bit easier to lose the weight. But when I was breastfeeding and when I was pregnant, there was no desire for me to control the weight. Oh my gosh! From 2018 to 2023, for 5 years, I was vegan. Oh my gosh, I forgot to say that. And that's how I was controlling my weight before I got pregnant. That's another reason why I don't feel so terrible about ballooning as I ballooned. Because when I was walking around being vegan and everybody was looking at me dumbfounded, like, how can you be black, Jamaican and vegan? How can you not eat meat? How can you, why are you doing it? Like, is it that necessary? Is it that? And now they can see, yes, yes, darling. The vegan lifestyle was definitely very necessary for me, and I used to tell them it was because of discipline. I can do another video about that. I was vegan for 5 years. It was a time, and as I said, now looking at me, anybody that came in my life and was just like looking at me like I'm a weirdo for being vegan, yeah, you can see why. You see why I had to control my diet and control what I'm putting in my mouth, and now I've gone back to my seafood diet. I got seafood and I eat it. I don't even eat a lot, but I'm storing onto it. Obviously, the sleep deprivation, cortisol, the hormones all out of whack. My body's just storing all the fat. It wants to stay alive, and it has been an incubator of babies. It's been a producer of milk to feed my babies. And so I feel so accomplished. I feel so unstoppable. I see the comments online that dirty, ignorant men make, and it doesn't even faze me because I know why I'm like this. Yeah? And I would do it all over again. I'm gonna go do it all over again. And also because I've done it before, like, I used to be a size 18 to 20 when I was like a preteen, like 12, 13, 14. In my early teens, I was heavily overweight. I dropped like 4 dress sizes. I didn't do very well. Didn't very well. And then I had like body dysmorphia for a while. But anyways, yeah, so because I've done that before in my life, I know now it's going to be a lot harder to try to do it in my 30s, but I know it can be done because I've done it before. So that's also another reason why I'm not too ashamed about it. Sometimes I do feel like, when I look at pictures, I'm like, that's how I used to be. Oh my gosh, you weren't even that big. And I know back then I used to think I was really big. Maybe I could have toned a bit. Like, obviously compared to now, I wasn't big. But yeah, I'm moving on. This video is so much longer than the first video. Thank you for watching up until this point. The last thing I'm going to touch on in between that time, which I've not really caught you up in chronological order. Anyway, so I got diagnosed with autism level 1 in 2021 at the age of 25. So I'm part of the late diagnosed autistic black girls club. That has obviously given me a lot more problems. Joking. Oh my goodness, autism. That was a big thing. I spoke on the channel that I did with my husband. I spoke about it, and oh my goodness, autism. I'm so sure of it. When I learned about autism and what it is, and when I read the DSM-5 criteria, and when I was making note of all of the stuff from childhood till then about why I felt like I had autism, and I was collating everything together, it was just getting more and more clear as day that yes, that diagnosis fits me. Even going through the process, put it this way, obviously I'd been autistic all my life, but the Lord knows I was only ready to understand and to come to terms with it when I was 25. It probably would have helped if I was diagnosed as a child or even a lot sooner than 25. It's not something you can ever... There's so much I've been through in my life that God knows when it was the right time, and that was the right time. Yes, my identity is still in Christ for the people that want to be like, reject that, rebuke that. Yes, my identity is in Christ first. Autism does not define me. However, it is a bit like, as I'm sure that I'm black on my skin, you can see the black on my skin. I can't remove the blackness from my skin. I can't remove the blackness from my ethnicity, my DNA, my genetic makeup is I'm a black person. It's the same way I cannot remove autism. It's just gonna be one of the things that I live with. I've also seen how much God can use me and is using me and wants to use me as an autistic babe to help other people. I will do a whole nother video about what led me to finding out, and I will tie everything in with my faith, and there'll be so much more to come. I'm excited for that. And that again will be on Sharice Leanne's digital diary. Obviously 8 years is a very long time, so that's why this video is very, very long. But so I think I'm gonna wrap up there. Thank you so much for watching this one again. As I said, all other sit down talking head videos, deep discourse stuff will be on Sharice Leanne's digital diary. So if you enjoyed this one, please join me over there. The link is in the description below, so it's easy access, and I will catch you in the next video. Thank you. Bye. See you later.